turns out that the breath is the connection between your body and your mind. And when you connect your mind, magic happens. So here's the big deal with breath. Here's the big deal with breath work. Here's why it's important. Your mind and your body share this connection, and your body responds to your mind. Now, we've all been kind of conditioned to live the other way around, where our mind kind of responds to our body. And when you get in that, what I call opposite land, it can raise a lot of problems because, you know, you can feel something in your body, like an ache or a pain, and then you're like, oh no. And you think a bunch of bad things about it, and then you worry, and it leads to just always reacting to the physical. Everything in your external environment becomes the things that begin your thoughts. Like, if there's nothing bad going on, if there's nothing good going on, if there's nothing going on, then you've got nothing to think about. There's a lot of people that's just the only thought that they're used to is just reacting to the outside world. So they're always looking for news to watch, a person to talk to, something to pay attention to, something to, you know, take their attention. You know, what's going on? What's the gossip? What's this? What's that? I gotta watch the news. I gotta watch a talk show. I gotta read a magazine. I gotta, you know, they're always engaging with something in the outside physical world. And probably all day long, breathing very shallow, you know, nice short breaths, just enough to keep you alive, you know, not some big heavy breathing, not some deep breathing, just enough to keep you alive. And you might go through your day feeling a little bit tired, a little bit sluggish, not terribly awake, not terribly focused. And this is your standard operating system that most people are running on. So what happens when you start incorporating guided breath work? Well, you begin to awaken the connection between your mind and your body. You can calm your body, calm your nervous system down, and you can actually start to instruct your body to listen to your mental instructions, your mind. So instead of your mind having a whole bunch of scary thoughts after you feel an ache or a pain, you can feel an ache or a pain and then reassure yourself that you are well, that it is okay. Begin to influence your own biological makeup. Your entire cellular structure can be influenced by your very thought. Because we can so easily create illness in our life. We can create more hardship. We can end up creating more injuries by our thoughts and our reactions to the outside world. So what if we become less reactive and we turn inward to our breath? You know, something happens and we just not reacting, just breathing. What happens then if we just become less reactive and we open up that connection with our mind? That connection to mind is actually a connection to source, to the great source consciousness that we are all a part of. It's kind of like we always go on the computer and, you know, Google answers for all kinds of things. It's like anything you want to know, it's at your fingertips. You can just, oh, there's your answers, you know, ask any questions. You have that in a totally miraculous way already ingrained inside of you. You are connected to the source consciousness of everything. You are source energy in human form, experiencing this miraculous human experience. But when you open up your mind and you open up that connection by using your breath, calming your system and turning inwards, which I guess when you think about it, inwards and outwards are almost the same thing when you're talking about the great consciousness that you are connected to, you can start to ask questions and get those same kind of answers, except real answers, more accurate answers of things for just for you, you know. I heard something really cool the other day about, you know, math prodigies and stuff like that, and there was, I think it was a kid that was 9 years old, and they could ask it like the square root of something ridiculous, and the answer was like billions of numbers long, and the the child could state the number. Most children can't count to the billions at the age of 9, but this child did. This is what I mean about every answer being there at the tips of your fingers, at the tip of your tongue, at the tip of your mind, should you just open up that spiritual connection. And we are not taught this. We are taught that all knowledge comes from books, all knowledge comes from the computer, all knowledge is just like, somebody else knows it and you have to ask the question, and you don't know anything until you learn it. But what if every answer was actually inside of you right now? Accessible. Not necessarily inside you, but yes, inside, around. It is accessible in this great energy field at all times, should you just choose to connect with it. And the way you connect is through your breath. Guided breath work, deep breathing, it opens your mind up. Because sometimes we can feel so alone and like anxious, and depression takes over. And it's easy to do that, especially if you're breathing so shallow. Have you ever found yourself just like holding your breath all of a sudden in the middle of the day? Depending on what you're doing, you just kind of, and then you just don't even know it. And then you take a deep breath where you yawn or something like that, and your body's just like, hey, I want some oxygen. Maybe you can just, do some deep breathing for me. That'd be great. The breath is mind and body connection. That's how you do it. And when you can bring your mind and body connected like that, you open up pathways of healing. You can give yourself instructions. And it's having faith too. You must have faith in this, because whatever you think is true. So if you think this is bullshit, then it's bullshit. If you think something is nonsense and it won't work, then it is nonsense and it won't work. But that's, kind of gets into the placebo effect. And I think we'll talk about that next, is the placebo effect and how powerful it is. But your breath is the connection between your mind and body. So as cheesy as it may be to remind yourself to breathe, remind yourself to breathe. Breathe really deep. I noticed when I started doing the guided breathworks with Breathe with Sandy on YouTube. Love that guy. I was doing, once again, the cosmic energy, 5 rounds, 2 speeds. And I found myself like seeing colors and spots, and I got lightheaded and woozy, and I felt these like energy shifts throughout my entire body. And I was just like, whoa. One time I even fell off my chair and just totally blacked out. So now I sit on the floor when I'm doing my breath work. But these shifts happened, and it is incredible, and it is just uplifting. It is so amazing what you can do when you connect your mind and your body. And it helps to take you out of fight or flight mode. It really helps to tune your nervous system. So if you're somebody that, has a lot of anxiety and is, really busy, this is key. Doing some breath work is key. Taking deep breaths and becoming consciously aware of your breath. Put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your belly. Hold it for a while if you like. These breaths, 6 in a row, makes the biggest difference. When you were in fight or flight, it takes you out of that. If you were lying in bed and you wake up and it is not time to get woken up yet, and all of a sudden the thoughts start going, you're like, oh great, here we go. I recommend belly breathing. So instead of breathing into your chest, you're breathing into your belly. It feels weird at first. It's very strange. But, that's how kids breathe. You see their belly stick out. But now as adults, everybody's sucking in their gut for whatever reason. It's like, breathe with your belly. Loosen that belt. Ditch it. I don't know. But breathe into your belly. Just that at nighttime helps so much, especially when you just bring your awareness to that and you're consciously doing something different. You're not taking those short, tight breaths into your chest. You're breathing into your belly, pushing it out. And a short meditation you can do is literally just counting your breath either on the in or on the out, or then one and then the other. But do it like 30 times. Breathing in. 1. Breathing in. 2. Do that up to 30 times, especially if you're lying in bed, to calm yourself. You'll probably put yourself right back to sleep. Counting your breath, breathing into your belly, putting your hand on your belly, hand on your heart if you can. Just lie there and become very consciously aware of your breath. And if you want to do a heart sound on the way out, it goes. It's like saying the word hot, but without the T. You make that ah sound with your mouth, just, but not with your vocal cords. It's just the breath, the heart sound, to come into heart coherence. Very important for sleep. Heart-brain coherence for sleep. If you are a nightmare sufferer, you are letting your thoughts run rampant, and you can take back your peace at night. Journal out anything that is racing in your mind. But choose your thoughts before bed. Choose to ask yourself some questions. You know, what did I do well today? What went good? What did I learn? What did I improve on? If I wanted to be happier right now, what would I be happy about? Stuff like that. Ask yourself those questions before bed. And then come into heart-brain coherence. Use the heart sound. Breathe into your belly. Bring that connection back. You are the creator. You have this power. You do not have to go through your day, short breath, shortchanging yourself with energy. This is very useful, and this is very important, and this is one of the easiest things to make a shift on. But if you've been living in fight or flight for so long, you might have really tight muscles, so it's going to take some practice. That's okay. The more you do it, the more benefits you get, and the easier it gets every single time. Nobody's going to judge you, and it might feel unnatural to relax, because again, if you live in fight or flight mode, you might be addicted to like norepinephrine, epinephrine, all the fight or flight hormones, but that's not where you want to be getting your energy from. So, breath is mind and body connection. Practice it. Go breathe with Sandy. It's fantastic. And do it every single day, especially in the morning, especially at night, middle of the day. Get used to it. And watch the other video about visual cues. If you want to make a change and you find it hard to remember to do things, watch my video on visual cues. And I will see you on the next video.